Hi, this is a timeless collective reading for the full moon today, navigating the energies for the next 2 weeks. It's a bit longer than I expected, but I am loving the divine's guidance here. Please enjoy. Hello. Today is October the 20th. It's a full moon today, and I'm feeling very drawn to do a collective reading for the journey to ascension, to assist us in aligning with our souls and what's most beneficial for us to be in our on that journey in our highest potential. So, like looking at what our challenges are and what advice to overcome them. I'm projecting this out for, I've asked for guidance for the next 2 weeks. However, I am being told this will be timeless, so anyone who finds this at a later time, not all humans are at the same place in ascension on the journey, so you're going to find it when you need it. I have pre-shuffled all my cards, and I'm not sure exactly what spread I'm going to do yet. I'm going to kind of go with guidance as we go. And I'm sorry this is so late. I've been having some challenges with my computer. So I am feeling guided to use archetype cards to start off. So I have pre-shuffled, and I'm going to ask Divine Source, what would be the most beneficial and collective for the collective in knowing on this journey to ascension to assist all of the collective in aligning with their souls and being in their highest potentials, showing what the challenges are and the advice to overcome it. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, this one jumped out, but I feel like there's more. Thank you, Source, for using me as a divine channel for the collective to bring forth the information that is most needed at this time in the ascension journey. Okay, so I've got two more that jumped out here. Okay, we're going to go with these three. So the first one that jumped out was Companion. The second one that jumped out was Priest. And the third one is the Midas or Miser. So we're going to look first at the Companion. Companion. Here we go. So as I read the card, let me show you what this card looks like. These are Carolyn Mace's archetype cards, if you've never seen them. I love these cards. So the Companion, the light attributes, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. The shadow attributes are betrayal by misusing confidences and loss of personal identity. Okay, so I'm going to read from the book to define it a little bit further. Companion, friend, sidekick, right arm, consort, loyal, tenacious, and unselfish, provides a symbolic service to a stronger or more authoritative personality. Emotional rather than sexual support helps others focus on their mission. Shadow companion manifests as a betrayal, which damages the soul, or as suppression of your own needs. Look for a lifelong pattern of playing the loyal companion to others. So intuitively, what I'm feeling about this, for some of you, this is the twin flame journey. For some of you, this is looking at relationships that you have been in, whether it is a romantic relationship or not, but it's looking at relationships where you haven't set boundaries, where you haven't even, I'm hearing, even known what boundaries are or how to set boundaries, and allowed yourself to be loyal, tenacious, and unselfish when to set boundaries, you would have come to a realization. I'm going to call it self-caring, not to be selfish, because selfish has a bad intonation to it, but to be self-caring. And so you have, shall we say, not done self-caring in a way that you have given so much to others and let them cross boundaries that were inappropriate, that you have been betrayed and even had damage to your soul for some of you. It's actually brought about belief systems and perceptions of life that are not accurate. For instance, take someone who has had relationships that over and over and over presented as betrayal, and they have built up walls around their heart, not allowing them to be fully in their heart or even to know what it is anymore to be fully in your heart. And has perceived the world in a very, if not cynical, in a way that has created belief systems that no one can be trusted. It's almost like being so pure and being so loyal, and even wearing what may be perceived as rose-colored glasses, to the point that one day you rip those rose-colored glasses off and see the world as your enemy, and that you're not safe to have companionship. And again, it doesn't matter whether that's a romantic relationship or a sibling or parent-child relationship or friendships with other people. It's an overall feeling of not wanting to allow yourself to be vulnerable anymore because it doesn't feel safe. So the guidance that I'm getting on this is to allow yourself to go back and look at where you've developed your beliefs and your perceptions about this, and allowing yourself to release whatever it is you need to release, because there truly only is one thing, and that is love. And moving through the ascension process and getting into the 5-dimensional state is living in love. It's not having those things that hold us back, the belief systems, the perceptions that don't allow us to fully be the love that we are. Okay, let's move on to the priest. And there's what the card looks like. So the priest says the light attributes facilitate spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. The shadow attributes violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own role, spiritual role. This feels like it pretty much falls in alignment, but this almost feels like this is addressing the opposite side. So let's see what the book says here. Priestess, minister, rabbi, evangelist. Defined by ritual of ordination. The official capacity to facilitate spiritual vows, commitments to the divine authority. Serves as a spiritual channel of divine energy for others, and must represent the teachings through personal example. The shadow priest manifests as the inability to live according to one's own teachings, especially in lapses of personal morality, or using ordained authority to control people for personal gain. Look for a lifetime commitment to serving others by facilitating their spiritual ritual. So yeah, this feels like people who, on the one hand, have a certain awareness of true divinity, the pureness of heart, and yet on the shadow side, for whatever beliefs, perceptions they have adapted, which could very well be related to the companion issues here with beliefs and perceptions, have been able to see how it should be, how it would be divinely orchestrated to be, and yet aren't able to walk their talk because they haven't healed yet, because their hearts are still holding on to those beliefs and those perceptions that have created their reality. So it feels like divine guidance to embody this, to be able to walk your talk, is to step outside of yourself. Pull yourself back into a place through meditation where you're in a void and you're free floating as energy. And I actually am feeling I may do a meditation on this. Allowing yourself to look down at yourself in body from this disembodied state of free-floating energy where you are not constrained by belief perceptions and anything that would tie you to the human belief reality in the 3D, and viewing down at that body in the 3D and intending and seeing the restraints falling away. I'm actually seeing a body with shackles on them. Shackles on their wrists, on their ankles, even on like their thighs, one around the mid-center, like a person completely shackled. And not able to be free to fully express who they are because they're shackled by these beliefs and these perceptions. And this restrains them from being able to express in the world as who they really are. So even though they may have in their mind what it is to be pure love and all the things that would need to be done to move through the ascension process and reach 5D, they're not able to fully do it because they're shackled. Okay, let's move on to the Midas and the Miser. And there's the card. So the light attributes entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life riches. And the shadow attributes hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. This feels to me very much on the emotional aspect. I believe that this time we're going to be having a lot of emotional stuff come up, or we're going to try to keep them down. So look at where you're holding back on your emotions, where you're fighting looking or feeling or experiencing your emotions. And give yourself permission to unshackle, to let those things fall away that allow you to fully embrace your freedom of looking at your own emotions in the face, letting them come up to the surface, letting yourself deal with them in whatever way is necessary so that you can really embody turning everything into gold. Because once you release all those negative emotions, all those beliefs, perceptions, judgments, everything that holds you prisoner, that's when you truly begin to be able to manifest and create the life that you really want, dream of, desire, and deserve to have, and is waiting for you to do this work. Okay. I feel like maybe we're going to do some Rider-Waite to clarify. So, thank you for using me, Divine Source, as a divine channel for the collective to bring forth the information, the guidance that they need, the messages. And could you please give us some clarifiers for the companion? What information do we have for the collective that would benefit them in knowing for their journey to ascension, to assist them in aligning with their souls and their highest potential with regards to why the companion is showing up? Got one on the floor, I think. Oh, there we go. On the floor. Got two more down here. Okay. and I don't know for sure which order they came out, but we have the Knight of Cups. Let's see, I think we can see them down here. And we have the Three of Swords, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. Let's take a look at these. Okay, I see this as very nice. I'm going to turn this candle here a little bit. I think it's leaking on me. There we go. So I see the Three of Swords as being a struggle with your emotional relationships. Emotional relationship with yourself, emotional struggle with others potentially. For some, this is some relationships outside of you, but ultimately it's about the relationship with yourself, because as you move through your emotions and become more balanced within you, all your other relationships will fall into place. I see this as the Knight of Cups doing just that. Coming in, being able to look at where it is communication is needed. And the cups are about emotions. So to me, as I look at him holding that cup, it feels to me like he's bringing this cup forward full of all of these emotions and ready to communicate. And that feels like boundaries. Looking at where your own boundaries need to be set. What is acceptable for you? And looking at what you've allowed that doesn't fall within the realm of being acceptable with any relationship. And that takes confidence and self-respect of yourself. It takes dropping the ego and looking at where you honestly need to do the work within yourself so that you can love yourself enough. You can love yourself again because you have loved yourself. And in the 5D, you do love yourself. In the higher dimensions, in the core of your soul, you do love yourself. It's about finding all those beliefs, those perceptions, looking at the wounding, looking at everything that has created the opposite of self-love for you. And where is that going to bring us? The Nine of Pentacles. It's going to bring in manifestations of abundance. Okay, I'm going to move this one over here, I think. Okay. Then let's look at the priest. So Divine Source, please bring us in for the collective the most beneficial information on the journey for ascension at this time of the full moon, moving forward and aligning with our souls and our highest potential, how we clarify what information, messages, challenges, and how to overcome them for the priest. And I've got 3 cards on the floor. The way I'm set up, they're falling on the floor because I don't have enough room on my table. So, all right. So we have the 9 of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. So with the 9 of Wands, this is somebody who has been in battle. This is somebody who has been injured, who has struggled. And you could imagine these wands in the background here as walls of protection. And how I'm feeling him holding this one in front of him leaves a spot open in the back. So there's an opening for vulnerability here. There's an opening to allow that this is the time. We're moving into this time of change, and with emotions coming up, it's a time to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And when you get to the Page of Pentacles, you can view the page as a child and look at his wonderment looking at the pentacle. This could be ideas, or it could be fascination. It could be looking at things through a child's eyes in wonder and amazement, and living your life in that place of being totally the opposite of being cynical. Being open to new ideas, new possibilities, new enlightenment. And this is going to bring you to the 10 of Pentacles. A happy family there. A lot of abundance around. Look at the old fella here who brings in a lot of wisdom. You gain so much wisdom by moving through the process, looking, being real with yourself, looking at who you really are, why you have taken the path that you have been on, changing the perspective from being victimized to this was the perfect path for me. It got me to where I am now. It brought me to the learning that I needed to gain the wisdom that I needed. I needed a new perspective, a new awareness and learning about some, or maybe more than one, more than likely, aspect of my life. And if I look back and I see the path that I have taken has brought me to today and brought me to a point of learning and gaining so much wisdom that I wouldn't change a thing. And in that, letting it all go, letting go of the past, letting go of all the emotions that have kept you bound to the past, letting go of all the beliefs and the perceptions that have kept you bound to the past to be able to move forward. Okay, the Midas and the Miser. So, Divine Source, please show us the challenges, the advice to overcome in aligning with our souls for our highest potentials in this journey of ascension. 2, show us why the Midas and the Miser are here. Thank you. And I got 3 of them down there, I believe, and I've got one flipped up here as well. Yes. Oh, I've got a lot down here. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to move these over some. I think you can still see them. All right, let's see what we got here. Wow. Okay. So I've got 5 of them. So each one of these are like telling a little story. So interesting. So we have the 10 of Wands, the Hierophant, the 8 of Pentacles, the Fool, and the 10 of Cups. Okay. What this feels like to me is, are you going to take these wands and continue to see them as a burden? Or are you going to look at them as the wisdom that you've gained in collecting each one of these wands? If you take them as wisdom, you will move into the Hierophant, which is the God within, the subconscious mind. It's alignment with the truth of who you are. And in doing that, you will begin to look at your creativity, your abilities that are innate in you, and begin to manifest them in the physical. And these may be swapped actually, because it'll take blind faith. You need to come into a place of having total and complete blind faith that everything is as it should be. And you are aligning with your soul in the way that it was meant to be. Which brings you to the 10 of Cups, which is happiness, joy, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. Cups are emotions, emotional fulfillment. I feel like that's an awesome reading. An awesome progression and guidance of how to work with this energy. I do feel that this energy coming up actually for the next 2 or 3 months is going to be really intense. There are going to be people who are going to fight. They're going to fight. They're going to resist. with everything they have in them. They're going to resist making change. If you want your life to be better faster, heed the messages here, heed the spiritual advice so that you don't resist. And when you do feel like you're resisting, ask for help. You have guides and angels who are just waiting for you to ask for help. Ask them in a way that you give gratitude and thanks for their assistance in helping you to easily let go of, to easily stop resisting those things that you resist that will bring you into alignment with who you are. And help you to balance yourself so that those who are resisting don't affect you. That you're able to have your boundaries set enough that they can't shake you. You're so in alignment with who you are, and your boundaries are so kind but strong and confident that they will learn not even to come at you anymore because you won't engage. When we don't engage with negative energies, chaos, it goes elsewhere or it falls apart because there's nothing for it to engage in or with. Okay, I feel like either an angel card, which is it? I'm feeling a medicine card. So let's bring in an animal medicine card for advice or for us to be able to call in that animal medicine to be able to move into this forward energy. So source, divine source, thank you for bringing divine animal medicine card message for us to help us embody what it is we need to embody as we move through this energy. Okay, so I've got the beaver. Oh, I've got two here. Got the beaver and the possum. Can you see these here? I'll hold them up. Okay, we got the animal or the beaver and the possum. And let me get my book here. Okay, so interesting. 22 and 23, they're right next to each other. And I shuffled these well. 22. The beaver. Teach me to build my dreams, including others too. One mind, one thought, hearts as one, lessons learned from you. Wow. Beaver is the doer in the animal kingdom. Beaver medicine is akin to water and earth energy and incorporates a strong sense of family and home. If you were to look at the dams that block woodland streams, you would find several entrances and exits. In building its home, beaver always leaves itself many alternative escape routes. This practice is a lesson to all of us not to paint ourselves into a corner. If we eliminate our alternatives, we dam the flow of experience in our lives. A doer is characterized by industriousness And Beaver knows that limitation cancels productivity. I'm going to read in this next paragraph as well. Beaver is armed with very sharp teeth that are capable of felling whole trees. Imagine what those teeth could do to the limbs of the predator. From the rear, Beaver is armed with a paddle-like tail that aids in swimming as well as in guarding its behind. This tiny mammal is well equipped to protect its creation. In the next one, it talks about the beaver medicine, and it talks about teamwork is necessary. Building a dream. In building a dream, teamwork is necessary. Group mind constitutes harmony of higher order without individual egos getting in the way. Perfect. Okay, and the possum. Possum. Roll over. Are you really dead or just playing possum? Was it something I said? The possum's greatest form of protection is to play dead. In doing this, possum confuses many predators into believing that the game is over. Oftentimes, the confused rival walks away or looks the other direction for a moment, and the possum runs for safety. Oh my gosh. Wow. Does that feel perfect for not engaging with people who just want to create chaos? By, even if you don't feel like you're in perfect harmony or balance within yourself, if you can act as if, find the strength and the courage to act as if you are and not engage, like I said, it'll go the other way or it'll fall apart, because if you do not engage, chaos cannot continue. I do believe we could have some chaos coming up in the next few months. So do your best to hold your balance, to stay balanced, to stay centered, and find the core, find your core, and not allow yourself to engage in it. Opposing things, having strong belief systems one way or another. I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing to align with a certain belief or way of wanting to live, but just living it and not having a need to run out and tell everybody or run out and protest against the opposite of it is how you stay in alignment. Because doing the opposite of that is actually engaging in the chaos. It's actually engaging in resistance to peace and harmony and love. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And again, I'm sorry I got this out so late. A few little computer issues here. And I plan to try to do each full moon and new moon as time allows me to do that in the future. Many blessings. Stay well. Please know that I do not use any other social media sites, and I will never initiate contact with you. The only way that you can reach me is via email. In the description box, you will find information that explains the services I offer. I would appreciate it if you would help me to get my channel out there more for other people to see by a like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.